Manga-Waido.
I'm Ryota Tabuchi. I work as a salesman at a small publisher. I started working here 5 years ago. I was finally starting to get the hang of things. One day, the company president paired me up with this new guy to work on a project together. He looked much older than me.
Tabuchi, this is Nakagawa. Look after him for me, will you? Hello, I'm Yukio Nakagawa. Nice to meet you.
Hello, I'm Ryota Tabuchi. Nice to meet you.
You might actually learn a lot from him, Tabuchi. He used to be a director at his old company, so...
Mr. Nakagawa seemed like the quiet type. Apparently, he was pretty good at his last job, but he said he's never been a salesman before.
Sorry, Mr. Tabuchi. They said no to me again. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Maybe it's the way I talk?
No worries. 9 out of 10 times they'll say no. It's just how things go. You'll get used to it. And please, stop calling me Mr. Tabuchi. You're way older than me.
Ah, right. Thanks, Ryota.
He was a really hard-working person, and he was really motivated too. But he lacked confidence, and he always mumbled when he talked. Was he really good at his last job? My job was to find new clients, but it was a small company, so I also helped with design and interviews. I was pretty good at my job. My clients seemed to like me. They always told me I was really easy to talk to.
You're so good with people, Ryota. I'm really impressed. I wish I could be more like you.
Thank you, Mr. Nakagawa. And no worries. You'll get the hang of it in no time.
I sure hope so.
You used to design ads on your last job, right? You said you were the creative director?
Yeah.
That's amazing! Not many people get to do that, you know? Use that experience to your advantage.
I see.
If you're having trouble talking to the clients, start with small talk, and try to get to know them better as a person. That's always a good place to start. So we kept at it. We went around town looking for new clients day in and day out. We worked non-stop for weeks, but Mr. Nakagawa still couldn't get his numbers up. It wasn't looking good for him. Here you go. No sugar, right?
Oh, thank you.
Rough day, huh? I know how that feels. My first year was hell for me. I couldn't do anything right. I was always frustrated.
Really? You? I had no idea.
Oh yeah. You feeling okay?
I've had better days, and being the new employee, it really puts things into perspective for me. You see...
Then he started telling me about his last job. So like I said before, he used to be the creative director at his last company. He managed a big team of designers and created all kinds of ads for his clients. He was also in charge of training the new employees. But there was this one woman.
Her name was Michiue. Just like everyone else, I did my best to teach her.
Mr. Nakagawa was a tough boss to have. She felt a lot of pressure under him. And about 2 years later, she got sick and had to quit her job.
I was only trying to help her, but I pushed her too hard. She ended up quitting because of me, and I feel horrible about that.
He felt responsible for her, so he decided to quit his job.
Then your boss, he offered me a job. You see, he used to work at my old company too, and we knew each other.
I see.
Sorry to whine and complain like this. Thanks for listening.
Sure.
But I feel much better now. Thanks, Ryota.
Good to know.
Come on, let's go home.
After that, things started to look up for Mr. Nakagawa. He was getting much better at talking to the clients. He was actually a pretty good salesman. I was really happy for him. Then... What? You struck a deal with Eiko? That's amazing! Congratulations!
Thank you. It's all thanks to you, Ryota.
And it didn't stop there. He started getting more clients after that. He was unstoppable. Everyone in the department was talking about him. At this rate, he was going to be an official employee in no time. But then one day...
Kumada?
Long time no see, Mr. Nakagawa. I guess I'm your boss from now on. You better do as I say.
Yeah, the thing is,
This new woman got transferred to our department. Her name was Haruko Kumada. She worked as a creative director before this, and Mr. Nakagawa and Mrs. Kumada used to be rivals.
I don't really like to talk bad about people, but she's a very difficult person to deal with. And if you get on her bad side, she'll come after you relentlessly. So, just be careful, okay?
A few days went by. She wasn't that mean to the rest of us, but it was clear that she had it out for Mr. Nakagawa. She criticized him and yelled at him every chance she got. She hated him, and she wasn't shy about showing it.
Your numbers are down. What's wrong with you, huh? Go get more clients. And the other thing I asked you to do. Why is it taking so long? You need to shape up. Stop making excuses. Get to work.
She was making all of us really uncomfortable. A few days later, one of my friends that works at her old department told me about her. She sucked up to the old CEO, but she was a real jerk to everyone else. And when she didn't like someone, she harassed and bullied them. She said it was part of the job, but she always took things too far. Then one day, on our way home from work, Mrs. Kumada is driving me nuts. I wish she'd stop being so difficult.
Yeah, I hear you. She's causing me a headache too. What are we going to do about her? What the?
Huh? Where are you going? Mr. Nakagawa! The doctor said you'll be fine. Thank goodness.
Yeah, sorry to worry you like this. How's work? Everything okay at the office? Anything I should know about?
Not really. We got you covered. No worries. Mrs. Kumada is still pretty annoying, but that's about it. But you know what she said about you the other day? She said it was selfish for you to save that little kid. She's unbelievable.
Selfish?
Yeah. She's upset that you're gonna miss work for a week. She said she wanted to fire you. She's insane. I'm getting pretty sick and tired of her, to be honest.
I see. I guess I should have been more careful. But what was I supposed to do?
I told him to get some rest. Then I headed back to the office. But then, a few days later, my mom got into an accident while she was on her bike. Luckily, she wasn't hurt that bad, but I was worried, so I took some paid leave and went to see her for a few days. But then when I came back to the office, something unexpected happened. Ah! Mr. Nakagawa! Good morning. How are you? Feeling better?
Hey, yeah. It still hurts a bit. But the doctor said I can go back to work, so here I am.
Sounds good. But then, when we walked into the office, we noticed something.
Where's my desk?
Mr. Nakagawa's desk!
Why are you here, Nakagawa?
Kumada.
You got some nerve showing up like this. You missed work for a week, you realize that, right? Looking for your desk? I threw it out, so too bad.
You did what?
You heard me. And I'm not renewing your contract, so you better start looking for a new job.
Hold on! What about the documents in my desk?
What documents? What are you talking about?
Answer my question! Where did you put them?
I told you I threw them out.
What? But I had all kinds of confidential documents in there! What is wrong with you? If we lose those documents, it could end up costing the company millions!
Mr. Nakagawa never raised his voice like this. Mrs. Kumada ran out, got in her car, and headed to the garbage dump to retrieve the documents. Mr. Nakagawa? Everyone at the office seemed worried. But then, Mr. Nakagawa got up and said,
I'm going to talk to my clients. The sooner the better. I'm going to explain to them what happened and apologize.
I'll come with you! So we headed to ACO and told them about what happened. Needless to say, our client was very upset. Can't say that I blame him though. I'd be upset too if I was in his situation. Things were looking pretty bad for us. But then...
Mr. Nakagawa, long time no see.
Huh? Michiue? Is that you?
Yeah, you remembered me. It's so good to see you again.
Huh? That's the new employee I was telling you about the other day.
Oh, right! Her name was Tomomi Michiue. She was one of the designers he trained at his old company. After quitting her old job, she started working at Eiko. Then, after making some small talk and catching up, Mr. Nakagawa apologized to her.
I'm so sorry about everything. Back then, I pushed you way too hard. I was wrong to do that. I'm really sorry.
Oh, please stop. It wasn't your fault. And I know you're only trying to help. I didn't quit because of you. I'm serious.
What? Really?
Yes. Back then I was struggling a lot. I always wanted to be a designer, but nothing was working for me, and I kept beating myself up for it. Then one day, I just wanted to get away from it all, and that's why I quit.
Oh, I see. I had no idea you were struggling like that. I'm sorry I didn't notice. But you seem well now. Thank goodness.
Mr. Nakagawa seemed relieved. I was happy for both of them. Then he told her about what happened earlier, but she assured him that he had nothing to worry about.
I trust you, Mr. Nakagawa. I'll let my father know. Don't worry. You're not gonna lose us as a client.
Your father? What do you mean?
Oh, he's the CEO here. I thought I told you.
Wait, what?
And so, just like that, Miss Michiue saved the day. Thank goodness. Meanwhile, back at the office, our CEO found out about what Mrs. Kumada did. And he wasn't happy.
You threw out an employee's desk? And with confidential documents inside, no less! You have no right to do that! What's the matter with you?
He suspended her without pay until further notice. Then, a few days later, she came back to the office.
Where's my desk? Is this your way of getting back at me? Grow up!
What? No. We actually moved it for you. There was a lot of stuff here, so we were only trying to help.
What? Move it where? For what?
You didn't hear? You got transferred.
The CEO decided to make her his secretary.
Mrs. Kumada, what you did is unacceptable. You could have cost us millions. But as the CEO, this is partially my fault. So I'm going to make you my secretary. That way, I can keep a close eye on you.
Things weren't looking good for her. Then, a few weeks later, she ended up quitting. I guess she couldn't take it anymore. As for us, we were all relieved that Mrs. Kumada was gone. She was causing everyone a headache. As for the new manager, the HR department put Mr. Nakagawa in charge.
Hey, are you heading out? Can I come with you?
Of course, sir. But you sure? You're the manager now. You don't have to come with me.
Oh, I want to. I hate sitting around the office all day. It's not my style, you know?
I see. Alright then. Come on! Anyway, it was a rough couple of months, but glad everything worked out. Time to get back to work.